We are here with Councilman Peduto in this fabulous chamber of council chambers with all this historic history, and you're going to tell us a little bit about this gorgeous surroundings that we're in, because this is very, first of all, I want to thank you for inviting us in here, because this is a very rare treat for us to be here and sharing with our viewers.
Thanks, Suzanne, and it's a treat to be able to tell you a little bit of the history of Pittsburgh, because a lot of our past is directly linked to our future. The chamber we're in was built in 1916 to celebrate the city's 100th anniversary. And I know a lot of people say, well, I thought the city was 250 years old. But actually, the city of Pittsburgh was incorporated in 1816. And our first mayor was Mayor Ebenezer Denny. He was a Revolutionary War hero. You may have heard of him in the movie The Patriot, in which Mel Gibson was in. Mel Gibson has a soliloquy which talks about how at the Battle of Yorktown, when Cornwallis surrenders, how the battlefield went silent and the only sound you could hear was that of the drummer boy, the most beautiful sound of my life. And that is Ebenezer Denny, our Ebenezer.
And on the ceiling is all the list of the mayors all around the rim that it goes around. And also with the counties, you said, right? The Lawrenceville,
yes.
The Reeds.
We know them as neighborhoods, but at one point Lawrenceville was its own borough. Oakland was its own township, and they were all annexed into the city of Pittsburgh to create the city that we know today. All those townships and boroughs can be found by looking up in the wreaths that are all memorialized.
Yeah, there's a lot of great history in this room. A
There
lot of
is.
things, good things happen too. So you've been on City Council since '01, as we were talking prior. Tell me a little bit about how you've seen Pittsburgh change since you've been on City Council.
It's been rather remarkable because, I come from a very traditional family, and my grandfather came here in 1921 with a second grade education. My grandmother had none. And so I was raised in a house with my grandfather, and I got to really see Pittsburgh through the eyes that he had. I represent a part of Pittsburgh in the East End that is really, I believe, what this region will look like if we're going to succeed. So I've seen the growth of the hospital industry, I've seen the growth within the technology community, but what's really fascinating is what has happened around that. Revitalization of neighborhoods that had been really sort of left behind in the 80s. And you thought, could they ever come back? The storefronts of Lawrenceville in Southside, the parts of Shadyside that the houses had been converted into 6-7 units, turning into single-family homes once again. And the people that have been coming in, the urban pioneers to do it, people from the arts community and others that never really would have thought, Pittsburgh, that's where I'm going to make my career in the 1980s, now are coming from different parts of the country to be here. So when I took office in January of 2002, the first thing I did on that first day was created the first committee on the arts in the city's history. And I did it because we started to see a little bit of a spark, and I just wanted to wave some flames to try and get that into a fire. The arts community, we've always had a great central downtown, large, the Symphony, the Cultural Trust, arts organizations. But what we are seeing now in the past 10 years are the smaller organizations, the theater companies, things like Gist Street Reading, which unfortunately is going to end on a 10-year run, but it will blossom into something else. Our literary community is phenomenal, but it's not really talked about that much. Within the music scene, a lot of kids used to leave Pittsburgh to go to places like New York, even D.C., to do it. Now people are moving in to become part of the music scene. It's redeveloping neighborhoods. Lawrenceville and the artists that have moved down there about 10 years ago, Friendship, certainly parts of the South Side. And you're going to see it in other places that we're not even thinking about yet. North Point Breeze, Hazelwood, Polish Hill, Brookline, Beachview. These neighborhoods are going to see an influx of young people looking for affordable places to stay and an opportunity to perform. And you know what? Pittsburgh, in the past 10 years, has proven that you can use that type of a model. If we can create a city says, we want you, we need you, and this is your city, there are great things that will happen in the city.
Tell me in one word, how would you describe your style? I ask this of everybody.
It would be a combination between traditional and casual. I like to feel comfortable with what I'm wearing. That's
It's all about that for men. It's all about comfort, I think.
It is.
Looking good and comfort.
Yes, because it doesn't matter, who is in the tag or what really matters is, do you feel comfortable with what you're wearing? And the second thing is that I am a traditional type of a person for the most part. I guess some would argue maybe a little bit less traditional than others. But my clothes are definitely traditional. It's been that way since I've probably been in 6th grade, my friends would tell you. So I like to have something that is not a statement of the time, but something that can stand the test of time.
Thank you for inviting us to this gorgeous room.
Thank you.
Thank you today, and we'll be seeing more of you. And give me a hug.
All right.